It all started about 19 years ago. I never really had any gut problems as a teenager. It felt like it came out of nowhere. I started having gut issues. I was all of a sudden having diarrhea all the time. My office at the time was 30 minutes from my house. And sometimes I had to stop 2 and 3 times in between my house and the office to find a restroom. And it was emergencies. It was pretty terrible. My family was very healthy. We really didn't have a lot of processed foods in the home. When we got married, I started eating all these processed foods. We were eating out more. And I thought, wow, this is really affecting me. I was young and I didn't really know what was going on. And I was having these emergencies all the time. Oh my gosh. I was a public speaker as well. I was in front of smallest groups were 500 people, upwards of 5,500 people is what I've spoken in front of. So you can imagine with these issues, having to get up on stage and being concerned that during this hour, am I going to make it through this hour? And so now it was starting to affect my life. I obviously started going to traditional doctors and it was like, oh, well, you've got extreme irritable bowel syndrome. And I was like, okay, what do we do? And they took me through so many different medications. It did nothing. It really did nothing. We went through every medication, every protocol. It's not just your doctor that you're dealing with. You're dealing with what is the process, the insurance company. I saw a little bit of results with it. And I was like, oh, hallelujah. Things are calmed down a little bit. And then I ended up in the hospital with a twisted intestine. It was over after that. There was a time in my life I thought, okay, I got to start wearing diapers just in case. I contemplated getting the coloscopy bag. And it was affecting work. It was my career. It was terrible. It took a toll on me emotionally, obviously physically, relationships. Finally, I just said, enough is enough. I got angry with my GI and I was like, this isn't working. How do we fix this and make it better? And that's what led me to you. The GI said, you need to get with Alyssa because, and his exact words were, when I can't help any further, I send people to Alyssa. The funny thing was he actually first recommended you a few years earlier, but I heard the word dietitian and I thought, I'm not doing this. I don't need a dietitian. And so I ignored that. He was frustrated with me and said, you didn't get with Alyssa when I told you to years ago. And so you have to get with Alyssa now. And after our 15-minute consult, for the first time in 19 years of my life, I went to my wife and I said, I have hope. I'm so stupid. I wish I would have done this forever ago. In working with you for the 4 or 5 months, I feel like I know more about my gut and my body than I learned from any of them over the last 19 years. Talking with my family practice doctor, I saw him the other day just for a normal checkup, and he was like, you've changed. And I said, yeah, everything has worked. And he said, okay, I need to get Alyssa's contact info. Is there a way you can get me in contact with her? I said, yes, there is. I wanted to end it speaking to people who might be watching. If you've been suffering and you know what I mean, it has been horrible. If you are on your last straw, my life has changed. And it is all because of what we've done here. If you are at the point of hopelessness, then you have found the place you need to be. You are watching the right video. You are about to talk to Alyssa, who is the right person for you. Because I wish I could just make a commercial and go on the TV and say that classic commercial of, do you have extreme IBS or do you have IBS? Have you tried everything? Have you gone to every doctor? Then we have your solution. And it might sound like fairy dust, but it's true. So please, anyone listening, take Alyssa up on her free consultation. And I promise you, you will feel the relief and excitement that I felt just in that first meeting. I just can't say thank you enough to you, Alyssa,